Troy Williamson defends his British Super Welterweight Championship against the pretty boy Josh Kelly. Who wins? Find out Friday, December the 2nd, 9 p.m, live and free on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with the man himself. Cal, I've got to say, I love that Stoney jacket, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my winter.
Newcastle jacket.
It's my sleeping bag. I cut a hole in it and I put my legs through it. So that's the KALLE winter look.
I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. Yeah,
you got to see. By the way, you got to see the hood. If I put it up, right, I go into full battle mode. He's back. He's back.
Well, when did we start that weigh-in? I mean, you were up there. There was a couple of words said between Troy Williamson and Josh Kelly. Wasn't he? It's getting hot because you're getting hot. I bet it was. What was said up there, Cal?
What always people say, what did they say up there? I always forget. But look, it was still respectful, but it's funny because there's been 3 face-offs. First, the kick-off presser in London many weeks ago now. Yesterday, it's a bit more tasty, and today, it was respectfully tasty, let's put it that way. Josh was having a pull of the belt, having a little tease, then he sort of stepped in front of him, and then he started, Troy had a little poke round the ribs, have a feel. Yeah, they were both sizing each other up for tomorrow night, But let's also not forget, let's not kid us here. Those two, they know each other years and years and years and years. And, going through the system up here in the Northeast as boxers, they'll know each other in and out. And I think it was that last moment, sort of, I'm the king of the North tomorrow. It was that look. And, they got in very close. I think Josh also responded, I can't remember if it was with you or it was another interview where Troy came out and said yesterday he didn't look me in the eye. I've got to admit, I didn't notice that yesterday, but Troy seemed to think he didn't look him in the eye. He certainly looked him in the eye today. And Josh definitely made a point of that. It was spicy. It's going to be one hell of a fight tomorrow night. It's got me going.
That's what I was going to say. That was going to be my next question was, if you know this is going to be a great fight. For the people that don't know, maybe the casual fans that might be flicking on to Channel 5, flicking through the channels, they're going to get a right treat to watch this fight. So for the message for the casual fans out there that have got nothing to do on Friday night, then tune into this fight.
If you want to watch an absolute tear up, watch Channel 5 at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. An absolute tear up of at the highest of levels. I mean, let's not forget, both guys can really box as well. But there's too much in this. There's too much about who goes on to world honours, who has those bragging rights, who's the king of the North. The way they're talking, it sounds like something like a Game of Thrones. I mean, I saw Troy coming out with, I'm king of the North. I mean, it's the Northeast, but,
I'm from the North. I'm Scotland. I'm from the North.
I saw some comments actually on someone that there was another Scots who said, no, mate. We're North. Right? So, but I think we get the point. There's a lot at stake. Let's make no... it's not one of those fights where we can stand here and say it's over for the loser, but it's a long way back, and it's a hell of a shot in the arm for the winner. Yeah, I mean the winner, profile-wise, everything. I expect it to be a super fight on all levels, technical, power. But I do expect Josh to stop him late. That's my pick.
I was going to say, can you see knockdowns and cuts in this fight? Can you see it all?
I can see drama. Drama's in the air, isn't it? I mean, Andy, you've been up here this week. Drama's in the air. I think we're going to see a masterclass from Josh tomorrow night, and at the same time, Troy will bring his game. So I expect it to be a tough fight.
Quick run down the card then. Lyndon Arthur against Joe McIntyre. Joe McIntyre up there.
He's up.
That's what I was going to say. He looks ready for this.
He's not here to lose, that's for sure. No, but I mean, you'd expect Lyndon's sort of class and status to show through. But we're talking about a big fight with Lyndon at the moment, and I always worry about doing things like that before a fight, especially with a live wire like Joel. He said up here yesterday, he said it's the first time I've been at such a big event, I want to take my shot. Those are not the sort of opponents you really want before a very big fight in 2023 for King Lyndon Arthur. But yeah, I mean, you got to go with Lyndon on his class. He's such a good boxer. Has everything.
Well, there's a heavyweight clash tomorrow on Saturday night, which is obviously everyone's talking about. But we've got a heavyweight clash up here as well against two people that might not know who Hosea Stewart is and Franklin Ignatius. But if the first fight in only 4 rounds was to go anything to go by, a 6-round fight between these two is going to be quite tasty as well.
And I'm guessing they're not far off the weight, the total combined weights of Mr. Fury and Mr. Chisora either.
Yeah. 22 stone.
Yes, yeah, it was big lads. Yeah. It's also made it 6 rounds, and I love those sort of heavyweight fights because the first one was 4 rounds. It was bizarre. It was a crazy fight. It was fought at a very high pace for such big men. And tomorrow night we're teasing them a little bit as the promoters, and we've upped it to 6 rounds. And
that's what you do.
Yeah, and it's got people talking, and Jose's coming, I think, a couple of stone lighter, if I'm not mistaken, from the first fight. At least a stone. He looks in trimmer nick. Fantastic hands. And, Franklin, he felt he got hard done by the decision in the first fight. He's got a point to prove as well tomorrow. Over 6 rounds, it sounds not much for people who haven't boxed before or not been around boxing, but 4 to 6 is a big difference. It's a big difference. Not so much the time, but in the strategy, the way you approach the fight, the way you approach an early round. If it's a full rounder, you're gonna just go for it. Whereas in a 6, you go for it early, and 5 and 6 are going to be tough. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Both of them not really experienced. It's a wild one. This isn't going to be, this isn't a remake of Fraser Ali. This is raw. They're both coming through. They're both learning. But they've got everything to gain tomorrow night, so very excited about that fight. It's a pick'em.
It definitely is a pick'em. I think quite a few of the fights on the card's quite a pick'em, but I know you've been a busy man this year, making big fights. I mean, somebody said to me earlier today, we're having a laugh, just having a coffee, and somebody said, you're every press conference nowadays. So that being said, man, 2023, is it going to just be bigger and better in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're setting them up. We're getting into position for a massive 2023. And I mean, the icing on the cake, of course, I can go home on, if I can go home on here on Saturday with a Josh Kelly win under my arm for Christmas, I'll ask if I can borrow that British title and put it under my tree for Christmas, because I think I deserve it. But I've had some ups and downs this year, that's for sure. But one thing that I have loved to see is some of the progressions we've had in boxing in Britain. Obviously we started our Channel 5 partnership. Those numbers have grown and grown. Harlem Eubank is a pick'em for me, from a personal point of view of this year, of the way I like this myself after 20-something years in the game. It's like what do you love still seeing? And I love watching boxers progress in their careers. For me, that's why I do this job. It's not anything else really that keeps me in the sport. It's what I love to see. And Harlem this year, I'm just so proud that with his almost 2 million fans last week, the performance is going up and up. He started on the Latvian undercard with us under Myris Bridis, and those stories, I want to see them come through. But look, he's set himself up for a massive 2023. I hope Josh does the same. And next year will be a big year for a lot of our stable. And obviously we kick off early with Misfits and KSI and Danis which I heard is almost sold out today already. I sold out the pre-sale, goes on sale tomorrow. So that's crazy stuff again. We haven't even announced the undercard yet. It's fantastic. And then a week later, obviously we're in Manchester, which is also, I believe, sold out the pre-sale. 75% gone of all the tickets selling for Eubank Smith. So it's a big January. But we're going to be relentless next year. 25, 30 shows minimum. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, Kalle. Listen, I know we're probably the last two here, which is ridiculous. I want to get back to the hotel. It's always the case.
Can talk. But, yeah.
Let's stop talking. Kalle, again, thank you so much, and I look forward to tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Cheers, Kalle. Thank you.
Midnight on Channel 5. Troy Williamson defends his British Super Welterweight Championship against the pretty boy Josh Kelly. Who wins? Find out Friday, December the 2nd, 9 p.m, live and free on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife and saying completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.